Alright, let's move on with the static meshing operation of our level. Now, I have to be honest, I was bad. In between videos, it was absolutely driving me crazy that I wasn't getting nice alignment between these three sets of meshes. So I ended up taking my drag grid down to 8, and if we look really closely now, we have 416 units in between these two braces, and now if we come over here, we have 416 units between these as well. So that's the magic number, is 416. If you can squeeze that out, and to do it, you just need to go down to 8 on your drag grid, then you're golden. I just couldn't take it, you know? They needed to line up. Alright, so the next thing I want is a nice kind of a beam that runs down the center of the room, the kind of thing that you could hang like, you know, a sliding hook on if you wanted to, you know, pick up an engine block or something like that. Now, we have a static mesh that's perfect for this. So what I'm going to do is just point you right to it. We're going to come right into the static mesh browser. I'll click all assets and I'll clear everything out. Let's check static meshes, and we're going to search for beam, B-E-A-M, and there you go. SHU supports SMIBeam-A, and I'm just going to drag this right against the wall, and let's see, where did it go? And here it is. It's kind of poking up through the ceiling, which is not really doing me much good right now, so let's rotate this guy so he kind of runs the length of the room. So here in the side view of our level, we'll just kind of rotate that over. And the I-beam is looking okay, but it's a little thin. Now, technically, if you really wanted to hang something on that, that's really as big as it needs to be, but I just want it to be bigger. I need a bigger I-beam or I won't be satisfied. So I've got some scale settings in mind. We're going to take our X scale here in our draw scale and set that up to 6. And then, let's see, for Y, we're going to double the size. So let's go with 2, so that makes it a whole lot taller. And then for Z, just to make this easily repeatable and to fit nicely in the room, I've got a pre-calculated number, which is 1.625. So that's like, what, 5/8, I think? Now, if we drag this all the way to the end of the room, in fact, actually, let's bring it over here to the door real quick so we can see how high up in the air it needs to be, though I plan to edit that a little bit. So we'll slide this up, because we don't want it to go through the door. Right above the door would be good. Now, here in the top view, I'm going to make sure this goes kind of right up against that wall. And then let's also make sure it's centered up, because currently it isn't. We need to slide this up so it's nice and centered up on the middle of the room. And I'm going to make some copies of this. So holding down the Alt key, let's drag this over. Now I need to let off the Alt key to make another copy. So let off Alt, hold down Alt again, and then drag again. And there we go. So now we have this I-beam that runs all the way down the room, which is great, but we need some sort of support system to hold that I-beam in place. Now, I've already got a nice mesh here in the level that could do that for us. It's this little kind of arc that we put up here in the corner, so I'm going to hold down Alt and drag out a copy of this guy. And I'm going to reset all of his scales. So we're going to set this to 1, 1, and everybody's all reset. Now, I have some custom scales that I want to put in. I just wanted to kind of start at square one, so to speak. So we're going to take his draw scale, which is the first field, and set that to 0.5. And then tap the down arrow key, and X and Y we can leave at 1, but Z we're actually going to boost up to about 1.25. So it just makes the thing a little bit taller. Now, here in our side view of the level, which, again, is technically the front view if you want to get, hardcore about it, but it's showing the side of our level. I'm going to rotate this guy around 90 degrees. There we go, so that's nice and clean. Now, this mesh is a little bit shy of the ceiling, so if we line him up here in the front view, and that looks pretty good, and that's doing what we needed to do, but of course we're not really hitting the ceiling. So we could make this guy a little bit taller. That's certainly one option. What I'm going to do is just move everything up, because I wasn't really sold on the exact elevation yet anyway. Now if I select this little curved piece last here in the perspective viewport, notice that my translation widget pops over to the last selected object, which is very convenient for me. So I'm going to slide this up until it just kind of brushes the ceiling. So now it's high up in the air. We could hang whatever we wanted to from that, and we still wouldn't bump our heads on it, which is good. Now, I'm going to slide this guy over so that the top of it kind of lines right up with the center of our cross beams. Then, holding down Alt, I'm going to drag out another copy of it and rotate it around 180 degrees. And there we go. Now I'm going to continue sliding it back until the two pieces are just kind of butted right up against each other. And now we have this nice kind of a cross-beam support that's sort of holding everything up. So now let's grab these two guys, and I'm going to hold down the Alt key. Actually, check this out. We're going to line the camera up along with them, just like this. Now I'm going to hold down Alt, and check this out. I'm going to hold down Shift, and now we'll drag to the left, and check it out. The camera comes along for the ride. How cool is that? So now we go ahead and line that up. And now we can drag, well, actually, make sure you let off Alt. I always forget to do that. So let off Alt, hold down Alt and Shift again, and then we drag over again, and we'll get this guy lined up right down the center as well. But then we're going to have this extra piece hanging through the wall, so let's just select that by itself and hit delete. And there we go. So we have this nice repeating system that is holding up this I-beam along the center of the room. Let's take a look here in full screen mode. And yeah, I'm digging it. Okay, so that's one piece. Now, I'd like to go on and also put together some paneling and put a door here at this kind of smaller beveled area, this kind of bay window part of the wall. But we're actually going to do that in the next video. So just one little kind of bite-sized piece done. So go ahead and save your level, and then we'll continue.